Okay, so no, I haven't said anything the whole time I've been streaming, but it takes a really long time to load with these characters. For obvious reasons, it's loading a lot of stuff, but it's gonna add up after a while. It's a very old engine. It's gotta be like close to 20 years old now, so I'm sure that's part of it. Yeah, he loads a lot of stuff into memory. The guy that makes this. Try again. Hello. Ouch. Yeah, he added all the Shotos, and they're like 3-in-1. I'm kind of learning how to play as them in an actual match. Let's try that again. It's a lot to take in. Still learning. Maybe a good 20-30 minutes in training mode. That's all I've done. Starting to get the hang of it. Step by step. Yeah, during combo strings, as long as you're not at the ender, you can tag out. So kind of similar to Orochi, but much larger movesets. Here. What? Hello? Huh? No. No one's here right now. Does anyone else hate the doorbell? I hate when people ring the doorbell. It's an important call. Otherwise, go away. doorbell makes me very anxious. I can't stand it. Wish people would at least, like, knock instead of doing the doorbell. Yeah, I can't stand the doorbell. I wish people would just not do that. And if you don't have the person's number, then don't ring the doorbell. Really annoying. Really triggers my anxiety. Especially because I'm the only one here. I shouldn't have even answered the door. It's just not my house. I'm house sitting, but it's not my house. I had a feeling that person was going to keep knocking until there was an answer, though. Interrupt what I'm doing. That was fucking awesome, man. This game is a work of art. That was fucking cool. It's got that good flow state you get from, like, Orochi and Assault Spy, just, like, really using a bunch of characters really well. That was pretty sick. It'll take a while to learn all three characters, but I'm getting there. Need to do that. Yeah, when I order DoorDash, I always tell them to not knock on the door. And sometimes they do it anyway. They're like, please give me a 5-star rating. I'm like, if you can't, like, just not knock on the door, like, I don't know if you really deserve a 5-star rating. It's like my aunt is usually in meetings, virtual meetings, Zoom meetings, and I really can't have people ringing the doorbell or pounding on the door for something that's not terribly important like grocery delivery. But yeah, a lot of times they don't do that. They knock on the door, they pound on it. It's really annoying. It's like, can't you just treat it like like during the pandemic and just like text and just leave it there? I ordered Walmart grocery delivery earlier, and they tried to give me an entire big thing of Diet Dr. Pepper, and I don't drink soda. I'm like glad I stopped them because like, man, what am I going to do with a bunch of Diet Dr. Pepper? I don't drink anything carbonated. Like, it doesn't even make me happy to get that because it's useless to me, and also it probably costs like $20. I wouldn't want to be stuck with somebody else's food. I've had that happen before. They gave me a bunch of stuff, and then they told me because of the pandemic they couldn't give it to somebody else. I'm like, what? It's completely sealed. Like, it's got the same amount of germs on it as it does when somebody puts it in the freezer. They're like, oh, due to protocol, we can't give it back. I'm like, why? It's like, so I can understand if it was like, perishable food. Like, you get a Subway sandwich and it's for the wrong person. I totally get why they can't come back and give it to the right person. Because it's hot food, it's been touched. I get that. But this was like frozen, completely factory sealed stuff. And I called them, they're like, oh, we can't come back and get it. I'm like, dude, why? There's no reason to leave the food to waste like that. Doesn't make any sense, man. The people that put it in the freezer that stock the grocery stores already touched it. It's like literally no different. I don't know, man. I'm glad that companies actually started to take like food handling more seriously after the pandemic, but I just thought that was completely ridiculous. I'm like, this is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Dude, no one touched it. It's not like I cut it open and like sneezed on it or something. It's completely sealed. I had to give it to my neighbors here. Ooh, nice. I hope that never happens again, because that was like, I don't know how much they screwed up, but it had to have been like at least $20-$30 of groceries. And then I call them, they're like, oh, just keep it. I'm like, what? I'm like, what does the other person, what is their compensation for that? Because you fucked up. You gave me stuff I don't want and don't need, and somebody else paid for it. I also had one time I ordered DoorDash I ordered DoorDash and the person dropped it off 2 houses away. So I had to awkwardly go onto their doorstep and take my food. And I felt like a thief, even though obviously I paid for it. But because the driver fucked up, like, come on, man. It could have ended a lot worse, but... like, dude, just drop it off where it says. Because that definitely is a problem. There's people that go around and they wait for DoorDash drivers and they just cop the food and run off. Luckily, I don't think those people were there, but I'm like, man, can you, like, please do your job a little bit better? Like, how hard is it, man? It's definitely hard work, but I think the last thing you should do is drop off somebody's hot, perishable food at the wrong place and then not tell them. Luckily, I've only had to do that once. Yeah, I don't really drink soda anymore. The only time I do is when I have my stress drink. But they don't even sell that here in town anymore. And it's way too expensive. Those drinks are nice to... They have like a number of them. There's ones that help you sleep. There's ones that help you cram if you need to study for like a test or something. Or, I don't know, video editing or something like really mentally strenuous. There's other ones like that, but they're like really expensive. It's like $20, $30 for like 12 of them, so they're real luxury drinks. I can drink those, but even then I can barely. My body's not used to the carbonation anymore. Yeah, I'm glad I caught the driver before they went off, because I'm like, dude, I don't want 30 cans of Diet Dr. Pepper. It's just gonna rot in my room. I'm glad they didn't pull that whole stupid shit where they're like, oh, we can't take it back. I'm like, dude, it's fucking sealed soda. I would have been pissed if they told me that. It's the most bizarre thing. Somebody telling you that they can't come back and take factory sealed frozen food because of COVID. Makes zero sense. I think a lot of the things companies started doing after COVID is a good thing, like actually cleaning tables and stuff, like right after somebody finishes eating. But Walmart has the stupidest protocol. Giant paper bag of frozen food. Enough food to live off of for probably at least a week. And I had to scramble to give it to somebody because I had no room for it. Yeah, this is a roguelike. I haven't beaten it yet. Been doing a couple runs a day. I need something a little simpler. Doing those combos was kind of ruining my mental stack. It's a pretty basic shmup, but the roguelike elements are pretty cool, and it has a lot of references to, like, cave shmups and stuff. They have the big bull from Death Smiles is in this game. It's made by, like, one guy. It's pretty impressive. It's only the guy's only asking $5 for this, too. I think I've gotten $5 worth out of it already. Just gotta figure out, like, what the good builds are. This weapon kind of does crap damage. Haven't tried this one yet. You know, the flame is actually pretty good, but I'm gonna try this. I need to see how effective the weapons are when they're upgraded. That's pretty nice coverage right there. See if the damage is worth it. Yeah, if I could get Magnet right now and be swimming in cash. Hope it'll give it to me. Nice, no damage. See if I'm rewarded with good RNG here. What do we got? I'm gonna take the weapon up. Let's see here. can tell this guy knows his stuff, because this obviously isn't, like, the best shmup ever, but it actually has an option to remove background effects and also show your hitbox, which is something a lot of indie shmups miss. Like basic stuff from, like, actual arcade shmups. This game's pretty solid. I do feel it's a little bit punishing. You can't really heal that much. You can't credit feed. Gotta be careful. Difficulty ramps up pretty quick, but I guess it's because it's shorter than even an average cave shmup. Runs are about 30 minutes. Alright, I'm gonna bomb because I'm gonna try to... Oh, never mind. Rip run. That actually was working pretty well. I might actually go for that again. A Blade, Nova. Let's try again. I got enough time. Got time for one more run. It actually seems like the stuff that has more coverage of the screen doesn't do crap damage like it does in some shmups, where like the only viable option is like the small coverage but high damage. And if you can get enough coverage to kill all the Zakos, you can actually make a lot more money. So I kind of had to unlearn how I usually play shmups. I usually just go for the beam like this, you know, something small that does high damage. It's actually doing pretty good damage. If I could get like a rocket with this, probably do a ton. Bomb bot, I think I'm gonna take that. That's in shmup terms, that's auto bomb. So basically means you get extra hits. So like novice mode and a lot of cave shmups. Damn, dude, die. There he goes. Ooh, magnet. This is a pretty good start. Let's try to take this to the end, hopefully. You know, Flash and Auto Bomb actually seems like a pretty good build. If I can just get a bunch of damage elsewhere. Flash is basically a, it's like a proximity bullet cancel. Lots of really cool mechanics in this. It's just they're all like, they're all random items. The game is actually deeper than it seems, but you start out, it's kind of just a generic shmup, but there's definitely some cool builds that you can make, which I think is what makes this game unique. Definitely could do with letting you unlock a little bit of stuff at the beginning, I think. So if you only get past the first level, the game seems very boring. Ah. Hey, the bomb bot's not working, I just noticed. Maybe this wasn't a good build. I don't quite understand what it's supposed to do. It's not, sure as hell not giving me auto bomb. Whatever, we'll try to salvage this. See what I get for an upgrade. I'm just gonna take the repair. I don't know how good speed up is in this game compared to a regular shmup, because there's no focus fire in this game. I don't know how much you'd really want to take. It's like too much of it would get you killed. Alright, let's just roll with this. I'll have to experiment with speed up and see if it's actually worth taking. Damn it, why do they keep calling? What? Hello? Yeah, we're fine over here. We're fine over here. Yeah. Archie's right here. Yeah, Oliver's here as well. They're all chilling. I already refilled their waters. He just comes over to... He came over because of the fireworks. Yeah, it's almost my curfew, so I already did everything. But yeah, everyone's fine. We got a little party in here. There's like 8 cats in here chilling with me. Got Georgie, Buddy, Boo Boo, Scar, Oliver, Bobby, Archie, and Groupie. Boo Boo's the green long-haired girl. Not the gray one, yeah. Yeah, I call her Boo Boo. Like Yogi Bear and Boo Boo. Yeah, Mario is, I don't know where Mario is, but he ate. We're chilling. It's been an easy night. I mean, huh? She's right next to me. No problem. Thank you for letting me stay here. I actually don't want to go home as it's so hot in that house. No, it's my curfew soon, Scott. I gotta go home, but I'll probably be here a lot more until this heat wave stops. So, all right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, for sure. I'll be here. All right, see you tomorrow. Good night. Bye. guys hear regarding Anime Expo? They didn't want to pay anybody to bring an actual arcade. So the Anime Expo arcade was just a bunch of arcade 1-up cabinets, which is like the lowest budget thing you can do. For a convention like that makes so much money. I saw it and I was like, dude, this is morbidly depressing. For a convention that makes so much money, that's run by cheapskates. Let's just get a bunch of arcade 1-up cabinets that like a literal content creator could fund. Somebody that makes more money than me. That's their idea of an arcade now. Those things aren't even meant for like mass consumption. It's not like they're bad. They're not bad. I don't want to sound like I'm shitting on a good product. It's just they're not meant to be used by like thousands of people over the course of a weekend. That's the point I'm trying to make. I'm not trying to say that they're a bad company, because their stuff's pretty good. But I don't know about having those out with like, 10,000 people going through that arcade over the course of 4 days. I would personally not want to do that if I had one of those. I'd be like, hell no. Get an actual arcade cabinet, the ones that are designed to be used like 16 hours a day all week. Those things are like barely even big enough to really even seat 2 people. Apparently they just had like a bunch of marble cabinets and stuff there. Apparently you have to pay AX to have your stuff there instead of them actually paying you, which is how it works at like most conventions. They're supposed to pay you. They're supposed to pay you for how hard it is to lug cabinets across the country and have them abused for a whole weekend. But I guess small indie company AX can't do that. Convention is legit terrible. I feel like if they ever stopped having like big corporation announcements there, like no one would go. I just don't go because it's a bad experience. It's too expensive. And like the only thing I'd really care about is the game announcements anyway. They don't even put an attendance cap, which is why the first day with like 30,000 people cramped in that small area never gets any better. It just gets worse because they don't do attendance caps. Keep in mind the heat in Southern and Central California has been over 100 degrees for about 2 weeks now. Really want to stand in that heat waiting to get in and then get inside and it's not any better, because even though it's air conditioned, there's all that body heat from like thousands of nerds in a small space. I did that convention once and I never once wanted to go back. Just gotta get a good build going here, and I think I can beat this game. Maybe I'll try novice mode next time. I'm kind of running short on time, so we're gonna play a little bit of Fight Forever and then stop for now. Yeah, the line for AX typically goes like for at least a mile. and you're in hellish LA heat. Oh. Hey, the tag's not working. This guy plans to have like 30 characters in this game, which is probably going to take years, especially because people don't donate to him. Like, man, I wish I had the money to donate to this guy. Just give him like 50 grand. Be like, look, quit your job and just only work on this game for like 2 years. Just pay for like all his expenses, his bills, his rent, everything, food. I wish I could do that. Most fun I've had playing a beat 'em up in a long time. Beat 'em ups haven't been that great post Street Sport. This is probably the best thing to happen. Definitely put a solid, probably 8 hours into this demo. I don't know, man. After playing Zenless Zone Zero, I think Pika Combat 2.0 has its problems, but they're getting better with the characters, which is exactly what I said when they They paid me to make that video for that game. I'm like, the characters will probably get better. It's like the same thing that people complain about in Peak of Combat, they complain about with Zenless Zone Zero as well. It's like the characters have 2 moves. Like, yeah. Sounds familiar. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Zenless Zone Zero is decent. Like, the pace of the combat is fun, but everything has too much health and the characters are, like, really simple. But I mean, PGR was like that too. PGR year 1 characters compared to the ones now, they're like way more technical. So I have faith maybe Zenless will get better. Most open VOR games are terrible for 2 reasons. The first is either it's the same sprites from like actual beat 'em ups, but with far worse design, because making a beat 'em up is actually hard. A good beat 'em up is hard. You know, we have stuff like the G.I. Joe game, which is fucking terrible, right? Like, people are like, why is it so bad? It's like, well, because they don't want a good game, they want a cheap game. There's a difference between good and cheap. And cheap beat-em-ups just don't feel great. The other reason is because, well, I kind of covered both reasons already, but there's a lot of animation limits as well from using old sprites like this. So what this guy does is he does like extreme amounts of sprite edits. Actually, let me quit out right now because I actually have to go soon. But I'll do a quick example. Cody's probably the best example. Yeah, maybe people will be a little bit more forgiving towards Peak of Combat now that Zenless Zone Zero has dropped and has the same problem but worse. So, you know, you can't jump. The movesets are very small and the characters are very one-dimensional. It feels good to play, but it's just mindless, and stuff has too much health. It feels like they balanced enemy HP around either whales or, you know, end game that people can't get to for like a month or something. It's not a bad game. I'm sure that the characters will get better, because that's generally how beat 'em up style gachas tend to go, is the base characters are very vanilla and then they start to like get better at designing them as time goes on. Peak of Combat has already gotten to that point. The last couple characters have been pretty good. It's just the problem with Peak of Combat is the end game is all doing raids with people who don't know how to play, and it's all just being in hyper armor all the time. Which kind of defeats the purpose a little bit. And they don't do a good job at putting out content. It's the same problem as KOF All-Star. They focus way too much on characters, and like the actual content that you can use them in is very lacking. Which was the main thing that killed KOF All-Star, was doing insane amounts of power creep, but then like there was barely anything to use it on. KOF All-Star, I think, is probably the worst gacha game I've played in terms of actually listening to people who play it and fixing those problems so that they spend more money. And they did not do that, which is why the game is shutting down. I'm like, dude, you power creep literally like every month, but there's nothing to use it on. You can pretty much, the way that game is right now, almost all the endgame modes except the final ones that they added, you can take a character from the last year and push like one button and get the max rewards. They didn't bother to like actually add content to use them on, and they're expecting people to get like 7 dupes to max them out. It's like, why don't you actually add something to use them on, and then maybe people will put up with your garbage rates. Anyway, I gotta go, so I gotta cut this short. He added a lot of new animations to this. An insane amount of animations. Like, this is the hardest sprite to work with for this kind of game, which is like Final Fight with way more moves and depth, because Cody has nothing to work with. You can see he's still got his old animations here, like his neutral kick, his going forward kick. He's got his basic string, and he's got that as well. But like, that's all he has to work with in his throw. He just went through his whole moveset for that too. He's changed like so many different animations. So that's what sets this game apart from other open BR games, is it's not just the same sprite dumps, sprite rips in a different package. It's actually doing something different. Anyway, I'm going to take a brief intermission, and if it's cool enough in the house, which I doubt, I'll come back and we'll play some more. So I'll see you guys in like 20 minutes.